hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
So I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax those eyelids. That's it. And have them just comfortably close completely. That's right. Feeling calm, feeling relaxed. As you breathe in that feeling of relaxation and comfort. Breathing in that comfort and releasing any discomfort. That's right. I want you to use the power of your imagination so that as you breathe in, imagine a color that represents health, well-being, and relaxation. So as you breathe in that health, well-being, and relaxation, imagine it going into your body, and I want you to allow it to displace any feelings of tension, anxiety, or stress. So with each and every breath, you're becoming healthier and more relaxed. That's right. And occasionally while I'm talking, your unconscious or conscious mind will pick up on different sounds, different elements around you. Perhaps the sound of people outdoors or traffic nearby. In a strange and contradictory way, the more distracted your conscious mind is, the better able I am to influence your subconscious mind. Because the vast majority of what you do is not conscious decision making. When you walk, you don't think of putting one leg in front of the other. You don't consciously think of blinking unless there's something in your eye. And when you breathe, other than right now as you're deliberately breathing in and breathing out, ordinarily you would breathe completely unconsciously, without thought. You don't think to enable your heart to beat faster or slower. It just does what it needs to do. And if you can accept that a lot of what's happening in your life and your decisions is not from conscious thought but from unconscious patterns, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And I want you to, as you breathe in that color that best represents health, well-being, and relaxation, imagine it going in through your nose, filling your lungs, and imagine your heart does what your heart knows how to do. And that is, in the same way that it can distribute oxygen to every cell in your body, I want you to feel that as you breathe in that feeling of relaxation, that your heart is distributing health, wellness, and relaxation to every cell in your body. And when you breathe out, just imagine any tension, stress, and anxiety is leaving your body. Now, that's it. Deeper and deeper and deeper relaxed. That's right. And I want you to imagine a place perhaps only in your imagination, but maybe a place that you've been to that best represents relaxation for you. And when you can imagine that place, almost like you're a bird in the sky looking at that place from above, when you can remember or imagine that place, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine that place, but as if there was no one there at all. It's completely private, and I want you to imagine floating down to that place so that you're in that relaxing, calm place. I want you to imagine you're in your own body in that place, and if it's outside, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. So if there is any sunshine, I want you to feel that feeling of sunshine on your skin. If there's a breeze, again, just feel that gentle sensation. Perhaps whatever you're standing on, you can feel it underneath your feet or underneath your shoes. But most importantly, being outside, I want you to focus on your breathing, because as you breathe in that fresh air, get a sense that without that ability to breathe in, life does not exist. Your body can survive for days upon days without sleep. Your body can survive weeks without food. Your body can survive for a few days without water. But your body can only survive minutes without air. And as you breathe in, I want you to appreciate the preciousness of breath. That without breath there is no life. And without life there is no experiences. And without experiences there is no connection. And it all comes down to the breath. So as you breathe in through your nose, I want you to get a sensation of the journey that breath goes on. The breath goes in through your nose, down your windpipe, into your lungs. And the breath is just breath. But those tiny components on the inside of your lungs have the ability to extract the oxygen from the air, take it into the heart, and your body can ensure that oxygen goes to every cell in your body that needs it. And I want you to appreciate that if those lungs become too saturated with that layer of tar, or perhaps get infected with the 7,000 chemicals that exist in every cigarette, or the proven 70 carcinogens that exist within those 7,000 chemicals, that at some point those lungs will no longer have the ability to take oxygen from the air. But right now, just enjoy breathing in fresh, clean air. Imagine that color going in through your nose, full of health and well-being and relaxation. And I want you to link the emotion of gratitude to something as simple as breath. Because if your head was held underwater and you couldn't breathe for maybe just 1 or 2 minutes, having a single breath would be the most important thing that existed in your world in that moment. And what if you can feel grateful for every breath? For every breath equals life. And to live a life on your terms gives you a feeling of freedom to make the decisions you want, to spend time with the people you want, in the places you want. That freedom does not exist without life, and life does not exist without breath. And if your unconscious mind accepts that therefore breath is the most important ingredient to life, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. I want you to imagine there is a chair in this relaxing place outside. I want you to imagine climbing onto that chair. Imagine sinking into this relaxing chair, feeling so relaxed. Imagine your eyelids get heavier and heavier and so deeply relaxed. Let go of any tension in and around the eyes and allow them to relax now. Any muscles around the forehead? That's right. Allow those muscles to relax, soften, loosen, and melt away any tension now. Focus on the muscles in the jaw, around the cheeks, even on the inside of the mouth. Focus on those muscles. As you breathe in, become aware of the tension. As you breathe out, let go of that tension now, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. Become aware of the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Some would call it the bank account of stress and tension. It's useful to have certain things in a bank account, but stress and tension aren't one of them. As you breathe in that feeling of relaxation, I want you to imagine in the same way that an ice cube melts in the sun, allow that tension and stress locked in your neck and shoulders to just relax and melt away. Now, that's it. on that chair in that relaxing place. Allow your arms to just let go of any tension you're holding on to, going looser and looser, limp, soft and relaxed. That's it, deeper relaxed. Same thing with your legs. Allow your legs to relax. In fact, if someone was nearby holding up your arm, they would feel your arm is loose and limp, almost like a piece of clothing without any body inside, completely loose and limp. If they let go of it, it would fall back into that chair. And I want you to imagine that you're about to fall asleep in that chair now. You've fallen asleep outside before, perhaps in a garden, perhaps on a beach. I want you to imagine falling asleep now as I count down from 5 to 1. 5, getting deeper and deeper relaxed. 4, eyelids getting heavier and heavier. 3, feeling like you're going to drift off, almost like you have an internal yawn ready to go out. 2 and 1, falling asleep now. But you're just imagining that you're falling asleep. You're not actually falling asleep, but imagine that you're now dreaming that you're in the same place, looking at yourself, fast asleep in that chair. In fact, pick up one of your wrists. Just notice how loose and limp that arm is. That's it. And as you let go, just let it flop back there down into that chair. Deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. That's it. And I want you to walk around this place outside. I want you to see that there is a child seesaw. You've seen these in parks before. And it's possible to think of a seesaw almost like a balance. That it can either be in the middle, evenly distributed, or it can have the weight on one side or the weight on another side. I want you to decide in advance that at the moment, the seesaw is weighted on one side, and that represents your decision to keep on smoking. And I want you to think about why you decide to keep on smoking. I want you to try and sell yourself as to reasons to keep on smoking. The ability to deal with stress and anxiety. The ability to connect with yourself at times where you might feel alone or disconnected. The ability to really enjoy a moment, escape worries and stresses. Try and convince yourself that it's there to give you comfort at times where you feel uncomfortable. You can pretend that it's giving you the freedom to smoke when you want, where you want, wherever you want. That it gives you the ability to feel in control when there is no control, only chaos around you. And these perhaps have been the reasons why you've been smoking for so long. And perhaps the only reason right now that you can think of to stop, perhaps, is the impact on your health, or perhaps the motives or reasons of other people. But that isn't enough. Because if the motives and reasons of other people were enough, and the worries about your own health was enough, then you wouldn't continue to smoke. So it is those other reasons. That ability to connect with yourself, the ability to cope with various emotions, the ability to give yourself comfort and connection. And all I want you to do is I want you to sit on the side of the seesaw that represents you continuing to smoke. And when you feel like you're there on that side of the seesaw, let me know by nodding your head. And as you're on that seesaw, you are choosing to continue to smoke. And I want you to imagine a future where you continue to smoke. And I don't know if it will be in weeks or months or perhaps years, but I want you to imagine that a natural consequence of continuing to smoke is the continued impact on your physical health. I want you to imagine trying to feel comfortable that first time when you see a doctor and he gives you worsening news about the condition of your lungs. I want you to try and feel secure when you feel that tightness in your chest, that first time you cough up blood. I want you to try and feel safe and secure then. I want you to try and feel how free you feel when you can't leave a hospital ward because of your condition and because of the treatment that you're receiving. You're open to infection or contamination. Try and feel free at the point where you can't leave a hospital room. Try your hardest to feel free when you're relying on oxygen through a mask, and without that mask, there wouldn't be sufficient oxygen that you can take from the air to continue to live comfortably. I want you to try your hardest to feel connected at the point where there are certain people that you won't be able to see again. Because if breath equals life and life equals experiences and experience equal memories, imagine the memories that you will no longer experience if your life was to end prematurely, directly related to your decision to continue smoking. Make a picture of those faces that you would miss most. Imagine the moments that haven't happened yet that could happen in the future that you would never see because you weren't alive to see them. I want you to think about all those future problems that those that you care about would have gone to you for advice or help, only you don't exist to help them. I want you to try and feel that feeling of connection when you don't exist to connect. I want you to try and imagine smoking right now, trying to link pleasure to the feeling of smoking when you think about all those people that will miss you because you don't exist. What if smoking isn't about happiness and pleasure, but about pain and sorrow? What if it isn't about spontaneity and excitement, but misery and loss? What if it was never about connection, only about the disconnection? You may have felt free, but how free can you feel when choices are being eroded? Because you can't just go for a walk if your lungs don't have the ability to enable you to do that. You can't just go for a swim if your lung capacity has reduced to a point where you're relying on masks or machinery. Can you really meditate when the whole essence of meditation is built around the breath and you're struggling to breathe? I want you to go forward into the future to the point where you see yourself prematurely dying directly related to a smoking-related disease. And I want you to see those that you care most about there at your funeral. See perhaps the tears in their eyes, the regret that they feel, the loss. And I want you to appreciate that whatever feeling of loss you may experience by no longer smoking pales into the comparison of the loss that will be experienced by those people that will miss you most. And if your unconscious mind accepts that if there has to be loss, you would rather the manageable loss of no longer smoking compared to giving people the insurmountable loss of you not being in their life anymore. That's right. But I want you to go further in the future, seeing all those moments that you'd never see. The times when people are going to need your help, but you're not there to give it. And if it's reaching a point of threshold, a point of enough is enough, a point of if not now, then when. If you reach that point where continuing to smoke is no longer desirable, is no longer something you want to do, is no longer something you need to do, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. Now I want you to imagine that you get off that side of the seesaw and just try on an alternative to see if it gives you more pleasure than the idea of continuing to smoke. Imagine sitting on the other side of the seesaw, and while you don't smoke, I want you to imagine that there are other things that exist in this future. Imagine feeling the security of knowing that you've done what you can to take your own health in a different direction. They say that it's never too late to give up smoking, because whenever you give up smoking, your body has this inner ability to heal and recover. And in the same way that the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time is now, the best time to quit smoking was many years ago, but the very next best time is right now. Because the moment you make that decision, your body starts to heal. Your body starts to repair. That thick tar in those blackened lungs over time starts to be expelled from the body. Those tiny parts of the lungs that extract oxygen from the air start to regrow again. The tiny parts of your taste buds in the back of your throat that enable you to taste new tastes and smell new smells start to come back again. New experiences, new memories can be created. I want you to imagine that in this future of no longer smoking, how much more comfort will you have once you're through the period where the withdrawals are no longer there? When your body has healed enough for you to feel like you can do more things. Walk for longer, swim for longer, meditate for longer. Because ill health comes hand in hand with discomfort, and good health comes hand in hand with comfort, peace of mind. It's difficult to have peace of mind if you're constantly worrying about what the next doctor's appointment or test will reveal. As you imagine that future of you no longer smoking, imagine all those new connections that can take place simply by living longer and having new memories, new experiences, new moments to connect with yourself and other people. Imagine the additional freedom you will have, not having to buy cigarettes, no longer worrying about if you have enough to manage different places or situations. Freedom is being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how much you want. And notice that as cigarettes become part of your past rather than your future, what you lose in the minimal feeling of gratification from just easing the withdrawal of nicotine, you get back 10 times in a feeling of being in control, moving your life in the direction you want to take it, feeling that you have more freedom than ever before, feeling that you get to live life on your terms. And if your unconscious mind genuinely believes that a future without cigarettes is more appealing than a future with cigarettes? Let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And that's all a decision is. A logical decision backed by emotional intensity. But sometimes the most powerful emotional intensity can be created not from what you've experienced, but what you may experience. And I want you to make a picture in your mind's eye, perhaps of seeing grandchildren that haven't even been born yet, but a moment that you'll get to experience based on this new decision. Imagine seeing those grandchildren for the very first time and linking that feeling of love, connection, and you being so grateful that you made those decisions those years ago to give up smoking and give up smoking for good. Because consider the alternative. If on your deathbed you had a choice of seeing unborn grandchildren for the very first time, or being able to have all those years of smoking, wouldn't it be the easiest decision in the world? And as you allow that thought to resonate deep into your subconscious mind, I want you to imagine what the next few days are going to be like. I want you to imagine that deliberately and consciously there is going to be time between the idea and the execution of this decision. Find yourself back there on that seesaw. But you're now on the side that represent there being more reasons to quit and to choose a future of your own choosing than there is to continue smoking. But I want you to think about what the next few days look like. The few days between making a decision in your mind and then turning that decision in your mind in a decision in reality. I want you to notice how difficult it will be to find comfort, pleasure, satisfaction in smoking in that time. You'll find it impossible not to think of the direct consequences of continuing to smoke even though you've decided that it's no longer something you want to do anymore. That dissonance, that unsettled feeling is exactly what's necessary to find out why you would continue to smoke even with all these reasons not to. But I want you to think about how you could prepare for that decision. What things would you need to throw away? What things would you need to change? Sometimes people decide to throw out old bits of clothing or lighters, ashtrays, things that have connotations with an old identity. And sometimes people start thinking, how can they reward themselves for this new decision? What they will spend the money instead to reward no longer smoking. Perhaps it would be to pursue a new hobby, a new interest, something that gives you a feeling of stimulation, variety, connection and comfort in brand new ways. That's right. But most of all, psychologically prepare for a new identity, an identity of you as a non-smoker. Because for most of your childhood, all of your needs were being met, not through smoking, but by other things. And you've had periods in time where you didn't smoke and you didn't mind not smoking. Therefore, you have all the resources needed to live a life as a non-smoker. And the more you think about that future, the more compelling and desirable it becomes, the more brighter, colourful, more desirable it comes. Because for so long, you've been addicted to a mirage, a false promise. All the things that smoking was meant to give you has given you the opposite. How much freedom and comfort can you have if you're worried about your ill health? How much confidence can you have when you see what smoking has done? And just know, as you make a decision backed by emotional intensity, you unlock the very resources needed to turn it into a reality. I want you to climb off the seesaw, but notice that the seesaw still stays in that opposite direction now. You see the seesaw representing that all the reasons for you to continue smoking are now the very reasons no longer to. And if your unconscious mind has already made the decision to quit smoking, let me know by nodding your head. And just give your unconscious mind the next few days to notice that you don't need it. That there is a future without smoking. And that future is so more desirable than the smoking future that you would have been on without this decision. And that's what a decision is. A decisive moment that changes your future. I want you to climb back into that version of you sat in that chair. That conscious part that's been asleep all this time. Feel like you're in your own body and no longer in a chair in that outdoor place, but in your own place. You're in your own body now. And very soon I'm going to count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. But you will awaken with a decisive perspective. You have decided, but not yet executed this decision. You're looking forward to an imminent future where you are a non-smoker. But you will become highly conscious of the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and sensations attached to you continuing to smoke even when you are no longer committed to a future of smoking. In a few moments' time, you will wake up, and you will wake up feeling highly resourceful, relieved that you've made the decision, and looking forward to executing that decision. You will wake up with a desire, huge amounts of motivation to prepare for your future as a non-smoker. And you will feel that smoking has been missold to you, that all the things you thought it was giving to you, actually it was giving you the opposite. And you will pay attention to those things from this point forwards. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.